Hi, it's me, Rachel Lynn, and today's Financial Friday is playing around with Undebt.it. So I heard about Undebt.it many months ago, but I never actually tried it out. I was just a little bit confused on where my student loans stood, because when your student loans are in default, there's not a lot of information that they give you. So that's one thing. I didn't know where my student loans stood. Another thing is I was very hesitant as far as connecting accounts and things like that to an online service of some kind, and so I just didn't want to do that, and especially not something that I had really heard of like myself, and now I've heard of it. It's been a while. A lot of people recommend it, and I decided to sign up for it. Thankfully, though, I actually don't have to connect any of my accounts to Undebt.it. You only can do that if you actually pay for the extra service, and I would rather not pay for a service anyway, and I have just kind of played around with some of the free features that they have on Undebt.it. I just kind of wanted to show you some of the things that I played around with and some of the scenarios that I kind of came up with as far as what it will be like to pay off my debt. So when you get on Undebt.it, the first thing that you're going to want to do is put in all of your debts, and it's really nice because you can put in the interest rate and the total amount, and even like if you've made like a payment or something like that, you can put all of that in there like right away. So I put in my amounts. These amounts have actually come down just a little bit because I have made a couple payments. I haven't changed that amount yet, but here I am going to play around with some of these things with you and show you just what can happen with my student loans over the next little while. So on here, they automatically have my student loans arranged from smallest to largest, as you can see here. I have 6 Navient loans. I have one KHE SLC loan, and then I have one Nelnet loan. Now, my Nelnet loan is my undergraduate loans, and my parents are actually paying for that loan. I actually pay my rent as my payment towards that. It's actually my rent because I live at home with my parents right now while I'm paying off my student loan debt. I actually do make a payment on this, but it is not technically my money. It's just my rent money, so it's like my parents paying. The rest of the payments are all of mine. Here is the account list, and this just kind of has them listed. This is kind of the way that I think of them, as this one first, because I will be paying this one off first, and then all of the Navient loans that I will be paying off, and then there is the Nelnet loan, which I will help my parents pay off once all of the rest of my loans are taken care of. That is, if they need me to help them out with that. It just kind of depends on how things go over the next couple of years, because it's going to take me a couple of years to finish paying off all of these loans. Something that I had never heard of until I got onto Undebt.it is the snowflake. This is just where you make like little additional payments, and they call them snowflakes, and I think it's so cute, and I really like it. So you can actually add more snowflakes per month, and then you can like put in here a snowflake amount. I currently have no payment history. I haven't put any payments into Undebt.it yet, which I plan on doing soon. This right here is the debt snowball table, and this is what I like to look at and what it's showing me as far as what my payoff looks like. My monthly budget is $1,400, with my minimum payments being $535. That's all estimated, actually, so that's not the actual amounts that I'll be paying. So it knows, let me move myself a little bit, it knows that I will be adding $865 to the minimum payments each month for a total of $1,400 if that is what I pay each month. This right here is telling me that my debt-free date is April 2035. I'm not going by this date because I know that it's going to be a lot sooner. It's also telling me right now that my balance is $161,442. Right here, I can even raise and lower my snowball amount that I would be putting towards it. And this will actually show you when you are due to pay off certain loans. If I follow the traditional debt snowball, I will have my first Navient loan paid off by February 2019. Now, I know that this is not the actual way that things are going to go, because I will actually be paying this loan off in full. I will be doing that very, very soon. I am actually waiting until the weekday so that I can call, and I want to call and make sure that my loans are applied to all of the principal, that just the whole thing. So this loan won't actually be factored in at all. I also kind of wonder if I should even leave the Nelnet in here, because I am not really paying on that right now, and I will only pay on it if I have to. But I found it very interesting just to see what this is doing and what it looks like as far as with interest and things like that. This is additional payments, I guess, like if I put more in, but of course I haven't even made a single payment yet. According to Undebt.it, I have made payments, just not on here. I just haven't added them on here yet. And then my total interest is how much I'm paying in interest each month. And it is nice to see that the interest amount is going down from month to month. So if I scroll down, I will pay off the next loan in August of 2019, the next one in April of 2020, the next one in December of 2020, and then the next one in September of 2021, and so on and so forth. September 2022, they get farther and farther apart. And if I keep on scrolling, I have this loan, and then this is showing how much I'm putting towards each one. And there it is, May 2035. Undebt.it is also pretty cool because it can show you the different methods. So you can actually save a lot by doing the debt avalanche. Now, this is one reason why I'm not sure if I should count my Nelnet in this Undebt.it exploration, just because the debt avalanche is putting your loans from the highest interest rate and paying those off first down to the lowest. Now, I only have 2 interest rates. All of my graduate loan interest rates are, I think, like 6.8%, and then my undergraduate loans, I think, are 7.25%. My parents are paying the undergraduate loans, and so I think of it separately because it is something that they are covering. Once they are able to pay extra, anything extra that they give me to pay will go all towards the undergrad loans. So I really won't be doing a snowball with my undergrad loans. That would only happen once my graduate loans are completely free and clear. And once they're free and clear, I will not pay all of that money to my undergraduate loans. I will be helping out my parents if they need my help and they're not done with those loans yet. But at the point that I pay off my graduate loans, I will be saving for either moving out of my own into my own apartment, or saving for a down payment for a house. I think it really just depends on how long I've been here at home and how desperate I am to leave at that time. So that's kind of my plan. So that kind of makes like figuring this part out a little bit difficult for me. You can do other things like a custom payoff order, but again, it's just kind of odd with the way that I'm doing things. I clicked on my progress. I don't really have any progress because I haven't paid anything yet. Well, I haven't paid anything according to Undebt.it. Now, a lot of stuff on Undebt.it you have to pay for the extra features, but I'm just exploring the free features right now. Okay, so this is one of my loans that I put in myself, and I gave it the name. It's a student loan. Here's the balance, the highest balance that it was, the next due date, the monthly payment, the interest rate, the monthly interest. There's a credit limit, but I mean, it's a student loan, so I don't need a credit limit. You can even put in if there's a promotional interest rate. I don't really have that as far as I know. And I can change the payoff order and all of that. Over here I can put in where my payments have been made. Okay, this is the first time I'm putting this in here, but I am putting in a transaction of $14.99. That says that I now owe $17.52, but for some reason it actually says $17.47.02 is what's on there. So let me see what happens when I change that. Okay, I only have 98.8% of the way to go. Okay, I'm going to put in the rest of the transactions and I will be right back. Okay, so I just realized that I put the wrong payment amount. That's why it's actually less, because I paid more towards this one. So I'm a little bit confused on which loan is which, just because of the way that I've like put these in here. They're not numbered the same as they are numbered on my Navient account, and I think I'm gonna go and change all of that right now. So I went through and I renamed all of my Navient loans according to what they're actually called on my Navient website, and they start with number 7 because loans 1 through 6 have been paid, and now I have loans 7 through 12. I think that those might have been my original loans before they went to default, and then they were in default, and then when they came out of default, like, they paid them from the default and they had to create new ones. I'm guessing that that's what that's for. So I just renamed them so that way when I look on here I can see it on my account and like look at the right one, because that was really confusing because I just put them in here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and realized like I shouldn't have done that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to go to the Nelnet one, and actually I need to update this amount, so hold on just a second. So I updated the total, and I also updated all the totals over here, but I didn't make them as payments because the interest has accrued already, and so the payment is not the same. It's just, it wasn't lining up. There are checks here. I guess that means that I have made payments on them, but according to these, I haven't. So anyway, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play around with some scenarios. If I hadn't moved back home, I wouldn't be able to put this $1,400 a month towards my my student loans. I really would probably just barely be able to make the minimum payments. That actually, I probably wouldn't even be able to put the full $600 that I'm going to put in here and just say that these are the minimum payments. So I'm going to save the changes here. I kind of, raised it up a little bit. And now let's look at what happens when I actually pay it off. Or do I? This is telling me that I'll be debt-free in January 2102. It'll take me almost 100 years. But no, that's not right. If I scroll down, all the way down, I still have money to pay off. I still have $142,000 in interest that is accruing. I think they just run out of dates at some point. I'll never pay it off. It won't happen. Now, this is income-based repayment, so my minimum payments are lower, but it's not going to happen. I'm going to put this back at $1,400 because that is pretty much my minimum of what I can put towards my student loans each month. It's brought me back to April 2035, but I haven't done this part yet. I've seen, I didn't look, but I've seen where my student loans go up to millions of dollars if I'm not paying enough on them. Millions. Yeah. That's a problem. Thankfully, that is not my situation, so I'm going to go back and rearrange a few things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out Nelnet as off of the payment plan, just for right now, just to see what happens. This brings my debt-free date down to December 2022. That's just a couple of years away. My original goal when I first started paying off my student loans back in January was to get this done within 5 years, with a side goal of hopefully within 3. This puts my payoff date 4 years from now, which, it's been a year almost into this process for me, which puts it at my 5-year goal, which is amazing. And that's not extra side hustle. This is minimum every month putting $1,400 towards my debt. Now, here's the other thing. I have $10,000 to pay off this one loan right here, this KHESLC loan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here and I'm going to take it out of the payoff plan because it will be paid off. this month. So starting next month, I will only have to worry about the Navient payments. I just completely forgot that my debt payment will be a different amount. It's not going to be $1,400 that I'll be putting to each month. It would actually be $1,200 because $200 of that goes to my undergraduate loan for my rent. So I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to get a true feel on that. Okay, that puts me out an extra year. So saying I would pay it off in 6 years total. If I can include this last year, it would put me just under 6 years paying it off. But that is without any extra payments. Like I mean, I make extra money in a lot of different ways, and so this is just bare minimum payments for the next 5 years. I can live with that because I think that I can bring this down easily at least a year or two. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to take out this loan right here. I almost said, because I have the $10,000 to put towards it. So really, starting next month, this loan will not be accounted for, and it will be out of the payoff plan. I won't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to take it out of the payoff plan. And now, wow, I was actually thinking that that would bring me down like a couple of years, but it only brought me down like 1 year. But again, that's without any extras. So I feel like this is something I can do. I can handle it. I'm going to see what I can do if I can actually squeeze another $200 out, make it $1,400. Oh wow, that only makes a difference of a couple of months. I find this very, very interesting, actually. I feel like it's being a little conservative. I mean, I trust the math, but I know myself, and I know that I'll be putting a lot more towards debt than just that amount each year, so I really feel like I could shorten this up by at least 1 more year and be out of debt by the end of 2021. I would love to be out of debt by the end of 2020, but I don't know that that's going to happen. But, you know, it's just kind of nice to see what will happen, and I can play around with these numbers and just see what happens with different scenarios. I was hoping for something a little bit more dramatic, but alas. Alright, well, that was me playing around with Undebt.it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a like, leave me a comment down below, let me know what other things I could do with Undebt.it that I don't know about. Are there any other programs that you know of that can help you track your payoff date? Also, don't forget to subscribe if you are not already, and click the bell to get notifications for when I post new videos. I'm posting a new video every single day in the month of December, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.